Well, let's cross now to Adam Hancock. He's live in Singapore following this summit for us. Hi there, Adam. So these ongoing US-China tensions, of course, will be a major talking point, but there are signs that relations between the two aren't getting any better right now.
Yes, there certainly are, and it really centres around the fact that there will not be a conversation at this summit between the two defence chiefs in Washington and Beijing. They're both here. They're both going to be keynote speakers over the next couple of days, but they won't be having a conversation on the sidelines. Washington earlier this week said that Beijing declined an invitation for that conversation to take place. So Lloyd Austin will not be speaking with Li Shangfu, really an indication of how those relations are at the moment. But it is worth noting that Mr. Li, the Chinese defense minister, has been under US sanctions since 2018. So that certainly could play a part in that tricky relationship that he has with the United States. Contrast this, though, with 12 months ago at this very same summit, when Lloyd Austin, the US Defense Secretary, met with the former Chinese defense minister. And that is perhaps an indication of where this relationship is at the moment. And many people were hoping for this conversation to take place to try and get things back on track. Because at the moment, Washington and Beijing, we've seen a big war of words between both sides, a number of flashpoints. For example, Nancy Pelosi making that controversial trip to Taiwan last year. We also had this year the spy balloon that was shot down over the US, and that caused the cancellation of Anthony Blinken's visit to Beijing, a trip that was much anticipated. So another opportunity really for talks to take place. It's clear that both Lloyd Austin and Li Shangfu will be here, will be having conversations with other nations, but they won't be talking to each other.
Well, Adam, what else is expected to be discussed this weekend?
You mentioned it a short while ago. The war in Ukraine is definitely going to be a big talking point. We understand that a number of European defence ministers are here this weekend to try and drum up more support from countries in Asia behind their efforts to back Ukraine. It's been reported that some European nations are unhappy with how much support they are getting from this region. And that conflict is being watched closely in this part of the world, because there are concerns that it could escalate and, for example, China may get involved, and also concerns that it could be replicated in this region if China was to try and take Taiwan by force. There's plenty of regional security issues to be discussed as well. For example, territorial claims in the South China Sea and reports from the Philippines about some of the behavior of China when they've been in those waters. Also, North Korea, an ever-present discussion at the Shangri-La Defense Summit. They obviously had that failed satellite launch this week, but ever-present concerns about their weapons program. And I must note that there are no delegates from Russia or North Korea here this week. There are, though, hundreds of delegates from over 40 countries, and there's certainly plenty of issues for them to be discussing.
Yeah, plenty of issues indeed. I know you'll be keeping us updated over the next few days. Adam, thank you.